Midwest, home sweet home in good old Indiana. Place of small towns, cozy families gather together, and fields of corn and rustic woods. But, like any town, there is a dark underbelly that often goes unnoted. We are part of that darkness. We lurk in the shadows to bring you the best in horror, metal, and stories of the grotesque. This is Blood in the Cornfields.
Welcome in, cellar dwellers. I am Mark.
I'm Ivy.
And we are Blood in the Cornfields. Yeah, we've got an interesting one coming up today.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for being patient with us. We had sickness, illnesses, everything going around because of
busy
course
times.
We do. It's winter.
It's busy times, yes.
It's also holiday season. With that in mind, enjoy your turkey.
Yes, or I'm a mashed potatoes and gravy guy.
Same.
Yeah.
Oh my god. The only thing in the turkey that I really like is just I need that leg.
Okay.
I need that fucking drumstick.
I do like one serving and I'm good. I'm a sides guy for Thanksgiving.
Oh wow,
yeah. I don't really care about the main stuff.
I just want the mashed potatoes and green beans.
Okay.
Not the green bean casserole, the green beans.
Great, just straight up plain old green beans,
yes,
huh?
yum,
okay.
Delicious. With mashed potatoes,
Right.
I'm a simple whore.
that works. That's totally fine. So I guess, new stuff that's been going on lately. Let's go. Let's have you bust into yours.
Well, okay. So the thing that I think is really cool is I read on Bloody Disgusting that George A. Romero was going to do a Resident Evil movie. Yeah.
That's just I wanted that to happen.
I know, right? That would have been
I didn't know that was a thing, but
it was like
that.
1998 is when he was going to try to create this movie. It felt like a match made in heaven. However, of course, because he passed away, it did not become a thing.
Yeah.
However, there's a new documentary coming out that's called George A. Romero's Resident Evil documentary, releasing January of 2025. And it's an exclusive. Not sure where it's going to be streaming just yet. It might end up being a Shudder exclusive kind of thing.
Sounds like it could be.
But it looks amazing. I'm very excited about it. It says here he would not sell his soul just to get a film done. So it sounds like he was really trying to get this thing made by all means necessary, but for one reason or another, it just fell through.
Didn't happen. Okay.
But that sounds fucking cool.
Yeah, that's really fucking cool. I had no idea that was kind of a thing. I mean, obviously it didn't happen, but I do love a good documentary. I fucking love documentaries.
And the particular director for this is Brandon Salisbury, and he's going to be doing this particular documentary in the same style as the Dune, Hodorowski's Dune documentary, which is kind of similar, where it talked about how Hodorowski was going to have multiple people lined up for this particular project, his Dune project, which would have been in the 70s. And the thing about Hodorowski's Dune is that it was initially going to be like this big sweeping, like sci-fi, what's the word I'm looking for? Like his magnum opus.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And it didn't end up being a thing. And it was cool because he took a lot of different ideas that Hollywood later repurposed from his script into other things.
Okay.
So, for example, like the Terminator Eye scope. That was initially in Hodorowski's Dune.
Interesting.
Yeah. I know that was one that stood out to me. And then a couple other, like, effects.
Huh, okay.
So, yeah. That was going to be fucking cool, but that's what they're taking inspiration from for this particular documentary, and I am very excited to see it.
You said that's coming out in 2025?
Yep, January of 2025.
Oh, so right around the corner.
Very soon. Yes.
That's really cool.
That is going to be badass.
I love seeing this sort of stuff because, first of all, I don't know jack shit about it, but, how the stories for a lot of these kind of come together is so cool, failed projects or things that never happened or things that kind of just happened and came together. I love hearing, the details about stuff like that. And kind of filling in the blanks and right now it's more like a blank canvas because I have no idea what the hell it is, but I'm excited to see, how far did they even get? Did they even start? Did they not start? Was there a script? Was there actors? That's the
and
stuff.
What actors did he pick out to be these certain characters
exactly.
would have been
so,
cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. I had a couple things I was going to go over. One interesting thing that I know you'd sent me that I thought was really interesting. So King Diamond recently canceled some shows in Calgary, Portland, and Seattle. Looked, because it's fairly new. I think this is like maybe 2 days old as of, this recording. I don't know anything that has happened. Of course, it's if it's something personal, obviously, then it's fucking none of our business.
Right.
That's
all for him.
Yeah, exactly. It sucks, that the show's canceled, but you're getting a refund, at least,
Yeah.
Hopefully, I know when stuff like this happens, I'm hoping that he's going to come back around for those cities and dates, because it's like, this is King Diamond. This isn't just like, I don't know, a fucking band that regularly tours.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not like it's not someone that goes on tour. Because, I don't remember the last time King Diamond came to the States.
Oof.
I really don't know. Maybe it was 10 years ago. I don't know. But anyway, this isn't something that comes around. So I'm really hoping that he can go back to those cities so that they get a refund, but then also a chance to, get to see him and have fun and shit.
Definitely. Hell, my biggest thing is like, if I made plans to fucking see somebody in concert and it got canceled, my life is over. I'm just pissed because it was hell, first off, just trying to get time off work to go see this. Like, I understand, I feel really bad for, King Diamond, and especially if it was something personal or medical or whatever. That's awful. But goddamn, I would be pissed. My whole week would be fucking ruined.
So I had something kind of like that happen. So we are actually doing this episode on a day when I wasn't supposed to be here.
Oh.
I was supposed to be at Days of the Dead right now.
Oh, shit.
Which is going on. But so what had happened was, so I was recently changing jobs. And so it took like a brief period in between getting back on my feet. And of course, when that happens, you've got X amount of money that you allot to bills. And so I was like, hey, no big deal. Let me pay a couple of these bills, get out ahead of them. And then this past Friday, which would be the week before Days of the Dead, I was like, let me get, tickets and shit, and then I'll go up. No big deal.
Ooh.
Saturday sold out, which I've gone to 5 of these and never have I seen a day sell out. So, like, had I known, I would have not paid those bills and just got them even earlier. But I had no clue. And Saturday was the only day I could go, the only day I was planning on going, but it sold out. And I was like, I didn't even think an event like this could sell out, because it's like just like walk up and there's people circulating through it. I guess if the Rosemont has capacity restrictions,
that would make sense.
But I didn't even, like I said, I've probably been to like 10 conventions and never once has a convention sold out ever. Even this small one that I did in Bastrop, Texas, it didn't sell out, So,
damn.
And I just had a bunch of shit, lined up. So I was super bummed. My friends Terry and Sam are there right now. Of course, Bloody Essentials crew is there. I saw on their Instagram that they're up there. So I hope you all are having fun. But yeah, I was super bummed about that.
That would suck.
Yeah, I was so pissed. Just because it was like, yeah, let me just pay this bill. Last thing I want is for a bill to be even like a day late. It might not even have been, but I was like, let me just pay these bills that I was going to pay, because I did not think. I easily could have just flip-flopped them and it would have been no big deal. But I was like, let me just get out ahead of it. Yeah, so I'm annoyed.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Being adult shit is stupid. Adult shit is real stupid. So
yeah.
Whatever. But it's coming back in March.
Well, that's good.
Yeah,
you got another chance to do it.
And I don't have to wait like a full year, because Indy doesn't happen until June.
Yeah.
So that would be a long ass wait. So yeah, that's pretty sad. But kind of shifting gears, wanted to talk about an album that came out that I talked a little bit with Adam from Black Tornado podcast about. So Fit for an Autopsy, the Nothing That Is album came out. Now it came out the very end of October, and I did not realize. But there was a badass song that I came across. It's called Spoils of the Horde. Great song. Kind of going back and forth with Adam talking about that was interesting to kind of hear his viewpoint on what he thinks, because he likes old Fit for an Autopsy.
Oh, okay.
His whole thing is when they start kind of doing some melodic stuff, it lost him, which I get that, because
not everybody's a melodic whore.
Exactly. And so like Whitechapel comes to mind too, because they were like the same thing. Back in the day, like they had no melody at all. You know, they had no background vocals, anything like that. And then the new stuff started to come out and they had background and stuff. So as I take off my hoodie.
That's okay.
I was just getting too damn hot.
I was just looking to see what you had on it.
I'll see what shirt I got.
Yes, Killer Clowns.
Killer Clowns.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, you know, that album's come out. Also, Heretic is still generating some big notoriety. It's in theaters right now. I definitely think it needs to be a one that we watch, because of the simple fact that there's so many people saying that it was their favorite movie of the year, and I want us to put it up against The Substance.
Ooh, shit. Okay.
Because I've been talking to other people too, and they've been all agreeing with us and you know, our thoughts around The Substance and how badass it was. I want to see, since the year is almost closing out, like maybe that's our end of the year episode, the Heretic versus
The Substance. Ooh,
see which one we like better. Because I feel like either one of those might be our movie of the year.
Nice. Yeah.
But you never know. I mean, that's just going off what people said. Obviously, we've never seen it. But for me, because I was trying to think the other day, because I was talking to someone about the movie, and I was like, what was my other movie that I really liked this year? And In a Violent Nature
was
my other one that I really dug this year. So that was like my second place finish.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, looking forward to going to be recording this week a Black Tornado podcast episode.
And we just had a Black Tornado podcast episode.
With me and Adam. I'm on there because we are going to be talking Texas bands.
Oh, shit. It's a Texas episode.
So it'll be good. So I, of course, you know, lived in the Austin and San Antonio area from like 2009 to 2021, somewhere around in there.
That's cool.
Yeah, so have quite a bit of Texas experience, so looking forward to that. It'll be great. Anytime, it's good to bullshit with him and
oh my god,
you know, kind of get into
so
things.
Entertaining.
Yeah, it is, and that's what I find is when we record those episodes with him, because this will be like our third. Well, it'll be my technically third, and I'm excited for you to have your women's episode.
Yeah, I'm excited for that too.
So then that'll be 4 times we've recorded with them, but like so much of it is shooting the shit. Yeah, you know.
Oh yeah. It's like having that conversation with like your best friend.
Yeah. And I feel like, I don't know, maybe compared to other podcasts, like I feel like maybe we shoot the shit a little bit more, because I feel like when we talk to our guests and get them going and like, you know, I feel like we have so much time that we could just have like a behind the scenes of some of these other episodes where it's other stuff that Luke has, you know, had to cut out and all that, you know?
Yeah. Because, we do talk to our guests a lot. Like, we just talk to them. We just, you know, hey, what did you do in the past? And it's usually nothing, like, formal. It's all just, we just have a conversation. Like, us and Adam became real quick. Action Adam.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got so many Adams floating around.
Yeah, I know. So
speaking
of Action Adam, we do actually have an event coming up, a holiday event, if you will, holiday or Christmas from Hell holiday special. It's a live visual mixtape that will be happening at Lang Lab. It's going to be December 7th, 2024, so 2 days after Krampusnacht.
Yeah. Okay. Hell yeah.
And the Krampus is going to be making an appearance.
Yes, Krampus will be making an appearance.
So it's basically the whole show is if you like Eldritch horror, you like H.P. Lovecraft, it's that and Christmas. Combine those two puppies together, that's what you're getting. Yeah. Fucked up, messed up, and awesome bands.
Yeah, it's going to be, and for the longest time, you know, because we've been talking to Adam for the longest time, and my biggest thing was like, and still is trying to envision this because it's so unique and not what I'm used to, which is totally fine. But this should be an interesting one. Interesting as in like different.
Yeah.
I don't think there's too many shows around that are going to kind of quite be like this. This is going to be something different. This would be not some of the other shit we've done isn't worth coming, but this definitely is worth coming. It's
going to be unique.
Yes, because it's very unique. It'll be an experience.
It will be,
as long as I don't fuck it up.
You're gonna be good. We'll get it. It's all good. But yeah, so the bands that will be performing live is like the band In This Style, Jigulchi, Leatherface, our buddies, and Dreadful Din.
4 bands. That's
yeah, it's gonna make for a long show, but it's gonna be fucking awesome.
Yes. And it's of course, at Lang Lab, which, has really become a good friend of ours.
And not to mention a home away from home at this point.
Yes, yeah. And I'm still trying to set something up that I guess, since I have the mic for a few minutes. So any of you out there, what I'm trying to do is create an experience time around movies. I'm not going to be too detailed because I would like ideas, but my overall objective would be to have some sort of movie club that plans different events, does different possible screenings, get-togethers, things like that, with a love based around, imagine that, horror movies. So if any of you out there would love to help me out or love to throw suggestions, or if that's anything that you would ever want is to be a part of like a horror movie club, I guess is the easiest way I could describe it, where we do different events, please send a message to Blood in the Cornfields, whatever, me, Ivy, I don't care. Because I would love some help and assistance and trying to create like a horror movie club. Like I've often wanted to rent out a drive-in theater, have vendors really come in, have food trucks come in, show a screening of like Friday the 13th on Friday the 13th, or, like some sort of theme, but do it at a drive-in and have like a whole thing, because I've seen other like horror, groups that do that, but these groups are in like bigger areas, And it's going to be really difficult if I don't get a lot of you out there to step up and participate and all that. So this is a call to arms for all you horror movie nerds. Please look us up, reach out. I'm definitely going to need some help. So help me out with planning some sort of horror movie club.
Yeah, that'd be fucking cool.
Yeah.
So 2 other things as far as like movies coming up, as far as in the horror news. We have a movie called Grafted.
Yeah.
That apparently has already released as of this recording. However, I don't know where.
I don't either.
I have no idea. It's apparently a New Zealand movie.
Okay, but I'm so in love. I'm in love with the colors.
Oh, I know. It's
and
like
I'm not like a pink normally like too much guy, but the pink and the blue and the greens really do it for me. That just looks fucking cool.
It looks neat. I like this little head on a platter thing that's going on. It's like, and I guess it's being described as Mean Girls meets Face Off.
Really?
Yes.
That could be appealing.
Right? That sounds so interesting. I'm already a big fan of Mean Girls, so this is right up my alley.
I hate Mean Girls because there's that October 3rd line.
Oh,
and
yes,
that's my birthday.
Yes. It's October 3rd.
Yeah, I hear it every single year, and I'm always like, because I don't know what it means. I've never seen Mean Girls. I don't know what it means.
Okay, so it's just October 3rd. But it's just referenced in the movie.
So that just references the day as a day?
Yep.
Okay.
But yeah, so that Grafted movie looks really interesting.
It does.
I really would like to see that. And this last one is Street Trash. Is really blowing up. It looks like it's doing very well for itself. It is calling itself a sequel of sorts.
Yeah.
But already right now it's apparently streaming on Screambox.tv and Cineverse.tv.
Okay.
Don't have either one of those.
No, me either.
I don't know.
I've got too many damn memberships anyway.
Yeah, right.
The thing that I thought was interesting is it's not a play-by-play, like you were saying, it's kind of a sequel of sorts. It's not a play-by-play remake either. There's things that are kind of changed around. And apparently there's some like gang of crackheads or something that tries to fight back, which should be pretty badass.
Yeah, I know. It sounds really interesting.
I think we probably, before the year ends, we probably have to watch that too to make sure that doesn't like sneak in and take over the substance.
I mean, that would be really cool. Yeah. I mean, you can't have enough body horror movies. You need more.
Yeah.
More body horror. Yeah.
And I've seen a lot of cosplay. That's how you say it. I don't know. Fucking kids, you're young. Fuck, I don't know.
Cosplay, costumes.
Yeah. where they dress up. I don't know where that. I'm assuming that's some sort of anime background where that name came from or something.
Could be. I mean, it's more of like a geek term, you know. People.
Sure. But I've noticed that there's a lot of people that are doing street trash like makeup where like face melty looks very like neon colors and shit. I've seen a lot of those. I'll share some to you.
That'd be fucking cool.
But yeah, they're really cool. So that's why I love like the internet gets set on fire with certain things and you know like people put their own spin on it and there's a lot of creative people out there that are like do really cool shit. So you know, those people that are like that come our way.
Absolutely,
you can dress me up as anything you want. I mean, hell, my daughter puts makeup on me and wigs and shit. I don't give two fucks.
What we're saying is Robbie Lopez, Tim Wallachs of the world, cast him in something.
Yes. I really need to be in a movie, but here's the thing, though. And this is what worries me about our performance. I can't remember shit. And my personality just takes over and I just fucking wing it.
And that's fine. That's basically what you need for the one that we're performing.
If I'm in a movie, first of all, it's like I'm not a method actor. I can probably play me. And then do not make me remember a bunch of shit and expect me to probably not say it. And there's... I don't know. There's weird words that'll come out of me at any moment. So, yes, just keep that in mind. But yes, I would. That's like, you know, my bucket list. No, like that's fucking something I would absolutely love to be on a DVD. Like I love that, you know. Luke gave me that copy of the Puppets one.
Oh, yeah,
and I'm just like, that's fucking awesome. Like, I'm so happy for him that he did that.
Oh, yeah, for Tim Richardson.
Yes, even if that's not, like, his peak of the mountain like it would be mine.
Yeah.
That's just so badass. Like, that's something I would love. So, yes, I will continuously whore myself out for that. One day it may happen. But anyway, even if you're, like... You know, you like to do makeup or anything like that. Like, if you want a test subject, cool. Put it on me and put me on your Instagram, whatever. I don't care. I love people that get unique, you know, artsy, all that sort of stuff. So,
yeah. I like to support the arts.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Well, without further ado.
Yes, we will be getting into a little bit of, what are we going to call this?
We'll call this a Thanksgiving treat. I don't know.
Thanksgiving treat.
It's a Thanksgiving treat where we got a smackerel of movies that are bizarre as fuck. Yes. This is like your turducken, your turoctopus, or whatever the fuck you want.
Turoctopus?
Yeah, have you not seen that?
What? That's a thing?
It was a joke on the Instagrams, but yeah, I'll show you real quick. I want that to
be like a real thing and people eat it.
Dude, it looks a
turkey and an octopus.
Yeah, it looks weird. It definitely looks like something out of fucking Eldritch Horror.
That's cool. That is, I mean, you know, that is interesting. That's pretty cool. So, yeah, we have some.
Oh, it's called the Turkraken.
Turkraken. I like that better.
Fucking Turkraken.
Turkraken. I like that better. Yeah, we've got some weird ass shit that we're gonna go over from our collection. We're just gonna kind of rip it off and get right into them. So,
hell yeah,
sweet.
Hey, spooky parents! We want to help promote an awesome alternative clothing brand from the Midwest. Made just for you ghouls. It's Feral Mama. The brand was started by Gretchen, a mother of 4 living in Cleveland, Ohio, who is a trained doula and has a passion for supporting motherhood and other mothers who are struggling with mental illness, postpartum depression, and mothers who are struggling to find a support group for other alternative mothers. Since she started her business, she has found an awesome community that has supported her through thick and thin. We support her on this mission as parents ourselves. Feral Mama has lots of comfy t-shirts with spooky designs for mostly mamas, but also some unisex options are available for any of you papas or caregivers out there. She also sells kids shirts from time to time, as well as hoodies, crew neck, long sleeve shirts, patches, pins, mugs, and some other really cute bags. You can use my code OscureIvy to get 10% off your first order using the link in the description on our Instagram or even on our YouTube, feralmamashop.com/OscureIvy. That's feralmamashop.com/OscureIvy. By supporting her, you will also be helping us continue to do what we do. It can take anywhere between 14 to 21 business days to receive your order, but remember, she is only one person. So go support your local feral mama today. Remember to support small businesses, women, and of course, badass mamas everywhere.
All right, so we have our 5 movies we're kind of going over.
And like we mentioned, these are just obscure, weird movies.
Yes. I do have one correction. So The Boneyard, which had Phyllis Diller in it.
Oh my God.
Did not work on my player, so I have to do a little research into that one. So I substituted The Bleeders in for it. It's a movie I was talking to my brother about. I think I mentioned on the podcast, because on the cover, I don't have that one. I thought I did. I've seen it, but it has like a gel blood in the front, so you can like move it around with your fingers and stuff.
What?
Yeah, I don't have that cover. I have seen it. I've actually seen it in person, and that's why I was like thinking that I had it.
Well, that's really badass.
Yeah, I don't know why I don't have it. So I'll start in with my first one. I'll start with Uncle Sam. Yes, so this was requested by Adam from Black Tornado.
Nice.
And then someone else. I want to say, was it Underground Metal Kid?
Yeah, I think it was.
I think it was. So this movie was a 1996 release, which is a theme for my movies that I have. They're surprisingly like around the same time.
Yeah, I kind of noticed that with some of mine too, but interesting.
So Uncle Sam, like I said, was 1996. For those of you who want to watch it, it is on Tubi.
Nice.
Yes. So premise of the movie is, it's funny. So there's the main character, a boy, and I'm just going to let y'all know I don't fucking remember names. So you're just going to get boy and man and all this. So there's a boy that's like the main star of the movie, and his uncle, Sam. So there's like a double play.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, they did that. Died in like overseas in a war. And the funny part is this kid is like so pro-war. And like so gung ho, yeah. And I am like a huge anti-war person, so it just was really awkward.
Wow,
with how like pro-war he is, and everyone else around him is like civil and like you don't want to necessarily just automatically grow up to be in the army and blah blah. So yeah, there's a boy that's the main star. First thing that's really cool is Isaac Hayes is in this movie.
Oh, okay.
So he plays a friend of this boy's uncle. So he's a friend of Sam's. So really with the movie, Sam, you find out that he, they bring his body back overseas and then he somehow like comes to life when the boy tries to open his coffin.
What?
Yeah. There's not a lot of background on why he comes back to life.
Quit my job if that ever happened.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Might not be doing that anymore. So yeah, he comes to life and then he basically like tries to go after unruly people.
Oh, okay. So he's like a Punisher type person.
Kind of. Yeah. So, overall interesting movie. The thing that struck me the most on it, and that's kind of the whole premise of the movie, is like no one's aware that it's Sam, but then he has this Uncle Sam mask because he kills this guy who is a pervert on stilts looking in a chick's window. And so he like kills him, and he was dressed as Uncle Sam.
Oh, that's funny. So then
funny. Sam, because his skin is all nasty, he puts on the Uncle Sam suit after he kills the guy on stilts.
Nice.
So he's just basically trying to run around town killing all the unruly people, and it like culminates with a 4th of July parade.
That's cool.
But the thing that I loved so fucking much is halfway through the movie, and I was like half kind of not doing something else, but at the time my dog had my attention. I forget why. Pete does this all the time. But anyway, so it was like a 5-minute time to where like I wasn't fully paying attention, but I still think I was. But anyway, there's a boy that comes in on a wheelchair and he has these like, hey, I'm blind glasses on.
Oh God,
like 80s style. To where they like anyone blind in the 80s, they put these glasses on him. And he had like this burn on his neck, but they never explain how he lost his sight or how he got the burn. And this boy was like, saying like, hey, I wasn't there when the accident happened, because his parents were like, oh, we don't like this boy, that's friends with our kid that got hurt, because maybe they think he hurt him or whatever. Anyway, he says he's not there. But so this boy's blind and hurt, and like, you don't know how he's blind. And then he has like a sixth sense about him.
Oh, God.
That he senses things and knows things like before they happen, kind of thing. And they never
He's got the shitting.
Yeah, they never explained how he had that. So it was really kind of weird. But I just loved how the boy was like just this like character that just existed. I don't know what for reason.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like they just had to like add that to it. But like the acting on that little boy was so terrible.
What, the blind kid?
Yeah, the blind kid. Yeah, sorry. No, I keep saying the boy and it's confusing. So yeah, no. Basically, that's pretty much the whole movie is Sam, is stalking unruly people. And you'd think that, so he died by friendly fire. So you'd think that he would like try to get back to the military or whatever.
Right,
but,
yeah.
I mean, he really wasn't. Like, he was just going after unruly people. And then Isaac Hayes is just kind of like helping the main character boy out, like finally understands who it is. And then, I mean, this is going to be spoilers, everyone. So just so you know, they shoot Uncle Sam with a cannon.
Ha!
Yeah.
I mean, that's fitting.
Yeah, but like, where the cannon came from, again, I'm like, was I distracted? The main character boy plays off to his uncle like he wants to, be with him and be in Warren, and then he finally has a change of heart at the end and leads his Uncle Sam out on the porch, and then the blind kid tells, Isaac Hayes to like fire away. So they're at his house. So I'm like, there's a cannon in his front lawn. And so that's where I'm like, thinking,
oh, that's strange.
Yeah, I'm like, did Pete distract me? But I never went back to rewatch it because I was like, fuck it. I like that it's that weird. So there were several times to where I had to question, like, did Pete distract me? Because it was just me and Pete in the house. Like, it was, and I was like, where the fuck did that come from? So may or may not have some holes in there to need to be filled in. But I just was like, fuck it, we're going to roll with it anyway. Yeah, and then it ends with him just like getting exploded, like smoke and fire, and like blown up.
That's where the rest of their budget went to.
Exactly. So yeah, and folks, I realize I'm not good at like giving these fucking overviews of movies, so just hang in there. But Uncle Sam overall, entertaining. I see why I have it.
The cover by itself, even the one that you have and some of the ones that I'm seeing here in IMDb, they look fun.
Yeah, it's interesting. They have this sack race where these boys are like pushing people aside and shit. I kind of loved that. I love that when they get unruly and stuff. So
that's so fucking good, though. Like, look at this tagline: July 4th will never be the same. I want you dead, Uncle Sam.
Uncle Sam. I just love that his name is Sam, and it's that boy's uncle. So.
Though, if you look at it, the writer is Larry Cohen.
Like one of the Cohen brothers?
No. So Larry Cohen.
Who's Larry Cohen?
Larry Cohen is the guy that did It's Alive.
Really?
Yeah. He also did Maniac Cop.
Real okay, so I'm surprised I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Huh.
So I thought that was interesting. I mean, I didn't know it until I looked it up, but I'm like,
yeah,
okay.
Overall, just an interesting little quirky flick. Not too bad. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't thought about ratings. But.
I mean, it's funny though because like you see, like when you were describing it, all I could think of was Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
the Eli Roth movie. That we watched last year.
I mean, it culminates around the 4th of July parade and stuff, but he's just killing throughout there.
That's fun. Yeah. Were they fun kills? Anything memorable?
Not too bad. I mean, as far as memorable, no, not really. I mean, one guy gets like blown up on stage. But, yeah, not really anything that's memorable. Just about as good as you could expect. A movie called Uncle Sam to be.
Nice.
What about you?
So mine, I'm kind of weirdly going in chronological order,
okay.
But this movie is called Girly,
Girly.
It's a very strange little film.
That looks kind of strange.
So on the cover, it shows a chick, like this real sexy girl with a doll and like an axe between her legs. And it's like, so yeah, the lady is meant to be sexy in this film, but she is just one part of the madness that happens in this movie.
Sweet.
This is a UK film from 1970. It was originally titled Mumsy, Nanny, Sunny, and Girly. Had a very long title.
Okay. I like that they shrunk it down.
Yeah. And basically what it's about is like a super wealthy, like old money family that bring people to them to play these very sinister and weird role-playing games.
Okay.
And all the kids are very infantized. Where they're like you see on the cover, she's like a little girl.
Yeah, no,
but
it's
she's
the Raggedy Ann doll.
Obviously this very sexy lady that's at least in her 20s. Same goes with the rest of the kids. There are like 2 other brothers or something like that, but they all have kind of a weird incestual thing going on too.
Gotta love the incest.
So apparently this movie was also based on a play called The Happy Family. That's news to me. The director is Freddie Francis. He's actually a really good cinematographer. He did cinematography for Elephant Man, Cape Fear, and then the original Tales from the Crypt from the UK.
Sweet.
So yeah, that was kind of neat. It is just a bizarre movie. I don't know how else to describe it really. Like just look at this alternative cover with the dude buried in his neck, with sand.
Yeah, sand, yeah.
You can imagine what she does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So it's a very interesting movie. I don't know what else to say about it, to be honest with you. It's just bizarre just watching these people, like this wealthy family just go about and do shit and like trap these people. And it's like, these people, you could almost leave at any time. Why the fuck are you playing this game? Like, what's going on? But yeah. It's an interesting film. And then it is available to watch on Prime Video as of right now.
Sweet.
Other than that, I don't know where else you're going to find it. This was a very bizarre movie that Luke picked up, I think at maybe like Orbit Music or something like that. Yeah. So, yeah. Interesting.
That is interesting. So my next one was my substitute in The Bleeders. I have had this movie for a long time, but I don't think I ever watched it. You can rent it on streaming platforms. I did not see where it's for free. So all your basic stuff like Amazon and different things like that, you can rent it. Cool thing is Rutger Hauer is in this movie.
Ooh.
Who, did a bunch of 80s flicks that I've seen time and time again. So this was an adaptation from The Lurking Fear.
Oh.
Which is H.P. Lovecraft's short stories, and was a band that Thomas Lindbergh from At the Gates, The Lurking Fear, was a band that he fronted.
That's cool.
Yeah, he's fucking love Thomas Lindbergh. At the Gates, one of my all-time favorite bands. But yeah, that's just, besides the point. So The Bleeders is about a gentleman who's coming over to try and find out information about his family because he has a disease, and his wife is like his nurse and caretaker, and he's pretty sickly. So getting onto the island, he discovers that there's a doctor because he's in need of some help. So this doctor had been studying about the Van Dams, which is a family, like a mysterious family that was on the island. And they had supposedly all went away. And they kind of meet, the doctor, which is played by Rutger Hauer. And they, throughout the movie, they go to try and, uncover secrets about, this Van Dam family and all that sort of stuff. And they end up finding one of them. So first off, they're little like creatures. They're like, dwarf size, midget size, little person size. I don't know what the PC term is. Sorry. Little dude size. And one of them like busts out of, I think, it was a worm container because it's a fishing town. And this woman's looking at night crawlers, earthworms. And then this guy jumps out of the worm box and he starts running because they don't like light. And he jumps down into the water, but then he ends up falling onto a propeller.
Oh, shit.
Boat propellers.
Yeah.
He gets
chopped
up. And so they bring the innards to the doctor. And the doctor discovers that he's a full-blown hermaphrodite. These little guys are hermaphrodites.
Oh.
Yeah. So they go to try and find out more. The guy meets up with a lady who was like a caretaker for him when he was young, but then she won't tell him about his family. And then you kind of find more of these little breeder guys. They like basically live off blood, and they have underground tunnels. So they go through the graveyard underneath, and they'll punch out caskets, take the body,
Oh, God.
and what's left of them, they'll hang them upside down and drain whatever blood may be in them or something like that. I know, because if they've been embalmed, there
there's
wouldn't be
no
any
blood left.
Yeah, which is weird.
I mean, there might be a little, but you're not
Yeah.
gonna. It's tainted. You don't
Yeah,
want that
but
shit.
then they also like abduct live people and then hang them up too. So yeah, because that's in the beginning they say like the lady's getting in trouble because her caskets are wooden, they're fragile.
Oh, yeah.
And then you see one bust through the bottom and takes a body. So I was like, put two and two together. So anyway,
Wow.
the lead actor is kind of uncovering, things about his illness and himself and then the family. And then the bleeders start to kind of, it gets to a point where they kind of start to attack. And they start like, there's a big storm coming and they like kind of corner these people into a lighthouse. And all these little bleeders are coming over the rocks and they're trying to shoot them and stuff.
Ooh, shit.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So, they do battle with the bleeders. And then you find out that the main character is one of them. So they also, not only are they hermaphrodites, but they're inbreeders.
Oh,
So
shit.
we've got inbreeding hermaphrodites.
Oh, my God.
And so he has a scene where he's in this underground tunnel and his wife is like, hey, come back. And he's with the little bleeders. And he has this little boy.
Oh.
And then he like turns away from her and like sucks on his blood with his little relatives, his little bleeder buddies. And then he goes into this den where his twin sister is. Yeah. What? He has a twin sister. And then he goes and like rests his head on her bosoms.
On her bosoms?
Yeah. So, it ends, with the whole scene. Oh, and she's pregnant. So I don't know if there was ever a
Whoa, what?
His wife's pregnant. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
There's a lot happening
But
in this
homeboy
movie.
was never told.
Oh.
So he goes and is with his sister. But then, I was like, ooh, I need to look, see if there's a bleeders too.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So, the big scene at the end is come with me. And he's like, no, I must go with my family and be this inbred hermaphrodite. Yeah.
Wow.
That's pretty
How
sweet.
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently it was written by Dan O'Bannon, or at least he was one of the writers credited. And like Dan O'Bannon's the dude that did Return of the Living Dead.
Okay, that's what I thought, yeah.
So that's unique. That's different. Like I kind of want to see this. This sounds interesting.
It's interesting. The little guys definitely make it cool. I love like the little creature type character stuff. I totally eat all that shit up. So
apparently it goes by another name, Hemogoblins.
Hemogoblins. Okay, I can
like
see
hemoglobin.
That. Yeah.
Like hemogoblins. That's cute. I like that. It's like.
And the main character is very vampire-y.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, like you think the whole time he's a vampire.
Oh.
Yeah, he's like, this handsome. Yeah, he's like, he looks like a vampire.
Yeah, he does look like a vampire. Yeah, that's the first thing I would think.
Very gothic dressing, has a cane, very pale, like attractive guy, younger guy. Yeah, you totally think he's like a vampire the whole movie.
That's cool. That looks interesting. And it looks like it's available on Prime Video as of right now.
Yep.
And Amazon to buy, I guess.
Yeah, so rentable, buyable, yeah.
That's cool. Okay. Yeah, I'm totally going to have to check that one out. That seems interesting.
Yeah.
So I'm going to break what I just said because I have a movie very similar to what you just described.
Oh, really?
And that would be Blood Gnome.
Blood Gnome! All right.
This is also about weird little creatures.
Brought mine.
If you go back to our Ron Fitzgerald episode, we talked about it on there. This is a movie that actually does have Ron Fitzgerald in it. He is a character. I'll get to that in a little bit. But let me just read the back to you just right quick. It's from 2004, so it's very of its time as far as like kind of the way people dress, the way people talk.
Sweet.
When Daniel, a crime scene investigator, discovers the truth behind a series of bizarre sex murders, no one believes him. Creatures called blood gnomes from another dimension suddenly appear, ripping their victims apart and feeding their bodies to the mother of all gnomes. Enjoy the fun, sexy ride in this horrific story of bloodthirsty creatures and survival. But yes, what you described about the bleeders is very similar to what's going on in this movie, except in this case, like, they're attracted to, like, BDSM and stuff like that, and that's the victims that they choose.
Yeah.
It is a very BDSM heavy movie. Ron Fitzgerald plays the dungeon master in this movie.
Okay, all right.
I think he has another dude that's also with him. But also, Scream Queen Julie Strain is in this as well.
How do I know that name? What has she been in?
She's unfortunately passed away in 2021, but she was in that Heavy Metal 2000. She was in a whole bunch of other stuff. If you see her, you'll know her. But yeah, she's really cool lady. She's a really good actress too, honestly. She plays the BDSM goddess in this one. But apparently this movie was shot in only 12 days.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm not gonna knock, Vinny, the main character here, the gentleman that plays the main character, Vinny Balancio. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. He's worked with Ron Fitzgerald many times on other films, like Dark Realm and Magnus. And he's worked on the art department of the first American Pie movie as well.
Interesting.
Yeah, so Vinny's done a lot, but not to dunk on him or anything like that. But it definitely shows that it was only done in 12 days.
Sure,
it's a low budget film.
Yeah, and I mean, doing a film in 12 days, it would have to be insanely difficult to make it not look like it was filmed in 12 days. So
yeah, so this is Julie. It's an interesting little film. It's very like campy.
Yeah,
because of course it is. It's definitely, like I said, of its time, 2004. You can even hear it in some of the music that plays in the background, that sort of stuff,
Sweet.
But yeah, it's got a similar premise to what you were describing. It's available on Amazon for purchase as of right now, and I don't know, you'd have to double check, but I think Ron Fitzgerald may potentially have one on his website, but I don't know that for a fact.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's an interesting film. Glad we own it. It's very strange.
Yeah, and that fits the little moniker.
Yeah, of like strange, weird films that we're covering.
Yeah. So mine is a full moon feature.
Ooh.
I fucking love full moon. That just gives you an idea of where this movie is going to be at. So it was called Head of the Family.
Oh my God.
Yes. So it was a 1996 flick. And you can watch it for free on Tubi. Nice. I love Full Moon because it's almost like a very mild trauma.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Like their movies are a very like mild trauma.
Yeah.
This one, interesting. So basically the whole premise of the movie is you have your two main characters. And again, I fucking forget the names.
Is it a boy, girl, or
girl? Yeah, it's a boy and a girl. So the man who's one of the leads owns a restaurant, or a bar. It might have been a diner. I think it was a diner. And the female is actually married to this biker guy that's obnoxious. I mean, like, think obnoxious masculine trauma style.
Oh, man.
Oh, so he's over the top degrading, over the top douchebag, like, it's just
like
awful.
They want you to hate him so much because he's going to get killed off later.
Yes. So, his wife is secretly banging the owner of the restaurant. So they come up with a murder plot to kill the husband so that they can be together. And that's when you cue the family. So Head of the Family is 4 members, and you find out that they're all twins.
Oh.
But they don't look alike. So yeah, they all came out of the womb the same time.
Oh.
So you have one guy, and again, I forget names. I'm terrible.
So they're like quadruplets?
Yeah. So you have one guy who has bug eyes, but he wears glasses, and you don't know he has bug eyes until he takes his glasses off, so they bug out. And then, so you find they all have superpowers.
Oh, what?
So he has like eyes of an eagle and can hear like crazy. And then they have Otis, who's the big, dumb, strong guy. Mm-hmm. And the girl, her superpower is she's hot.
She's just hot.
Just hot.
That's funny.
That's it. She's just hot. And they like walk around town and they like just stare and they don't say anything with this blank look on their face. It's the weirdest thing.
Wow.
So, and then of course you have the head of the family. I forget his name, but he's basically a head in a chair.
Head in a chair, like it shows on the thing.
And he's the smart one. So
I was gonna say he's all brain, right?
Yep, he's all brain. So basically, they get Otis to kill the husband, which is the big dumb guy. Mm-hmm. And then they kind of try to blackmail each other. Oh. So the diner owner and then head of the family try to go and blackmail each other. And that basically becomes the whole premise of the movie. Mm-hmm. Like them just trying to blackmail each other and then going after each other, so to speak. The family has people like underneath their house in like cages and stuff.
Oh, shit.
And that's where the husband is. So he didn't officially get killed. But the part that I loved the most was Otis comes around and so there's people in cages and he hands them a raw potato.
Aw.
Just gives him a raw potato.
I just think
one of the guy gets pissed off because he wanted two and he only let him have one. So yeah, they just feed him raw potatoes. That's the whole movie in a nutshell.
I love it.
Yeah, it's a full moon feature. Lots of titties.
Well,
yeah,
I hope so.
And then so that's the whole thing. Oh, and I forgot the other thing is, so the brain guy can actually control the others.
So he's like Professor X.
Yeah, so he can listen in to what the eagle-eyed guy is listening to or seeing, and then he can go make her seduce, the other guy.
Wow.
And then he can, influence Otis to, kill somebody or whatever.
How interesting.
Yeah, pretty ridiculous. Definitely a full moon feature. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much it.
That's awesome.
It's pretty sweet.
I like that about the movies that you're bringing to us because they're like the weird shit that like you had to scan the damn aisles to find.
Yeah.
Or it's based on like the cover alone is like that looks weird. Yeah. I'm picking that out tonight.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So the next one I have is Psychomania from 1973, also called The Death Wheelers. Ooh. This one is so fucking strange. I know I've talked about it before on the show.
No pictures on the back. You don't even get pictures.
You don't even get pictures on this one, no. The only thing that it tells you is George fucking Sanders is in it. Now, George Sanders is, he plays Mr. Freeze in the 60s Batman.
Oh, I've not seen it, but...
And he also plays, or he does the voice for Shere Khan in the Jungle Book.
And that's random.
Yep.
That's really random. Okay.
Those are the two places I personally know him from. Sure. I know he's been in a lot of movies, a lot of war movies and stuff like that from like the 40s and 50s, 60s. Okay. But yeah, this was like, he gets top billing, but literally he's only in the movie for like maybe not even like 15 minutes. He's also the twist villain at the end.
Okay, all right.
So basically the movie is about these like rowdy teenage like UK kids, like just punks, going around on fucking motorcycles terrorizing the neighborhood. The mother of the leader of this motorcycle game makes a pact with the devil and has all like her son and all his mates kill themselves.
Oh.
In order to join said cult, because they'll come back.
Oh, it's, a lot of classic cults.
So this is the funny thing. Each one of their deaths are the most silliest things I've ever seen in my life. Like, they're just all ridiculous.
Weird suicides?
Yes.
Huh.
So one guy it always cracks me up. He throws himself off a bridge with cars, below it, and he hits a lady's car, and it's like a horrific accident, and then he gets up and he just kind of waves at her. It's very funny.
Interesting.
The first suicide is obviously a biking accident. It wasn't actually an accident, but he was intending to kill himself, so it worked. But when he comes back to life, he roars out of his grave on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Badass. Because they start to bury him with him on his motorcycle like this.
Jeez. Okay.
But then he roars out of that grave nope. And then the other one that I found funny was a dude that drowns himself, but he's already got a whole bunch of bricks tied to his neck, and he just jumps in, and it's so funny. Because somebody yells at him, "Don't do it!" He's just whatever. Does it anyway.
Oh.
But yeah, it's really funny. It's bizarre. And the way that my husband and I discovered it was we were just flipping through channels and it was on, and I was like, what the fuck are we watching? This is strange. But it is available. You can watch it on Tubi and on Plex.
Really?
So it is luckily very much available. Something interesting about the movie is that it was only shot in 6 weeks.
Huh.
Another really fast done film. And also the leader of the motorcycle gang is played by Nicky Henson, who apparently is this huge actor in London. And he was interviewed for the film 40 years afterwards.
40 years after, wow.
Yep, before his death in 2019. And he's why are you reviewing? Why are we even talking about this movie? I thought no one saw it. And apparently it in the UK had an underground following, so
Really?
That's pretty cool. But yeah, it's neat that we stumbled across such a unique video and Luke was able to find a VHS copy of it. I'm glad we own it. It's such a bizarre movie, and it's so fun. You can even see some of the suicides at the bottom.
Yeah.
So it's a good time. It's just, if you want to laugh, this is a good one. Make you laugh.
Gotcha. Okay, so that brings me to Seed People.
Seed
People is another full moon.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was 1992.
So I know, I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but the interesting thing about Full Moon is that they would actually do their posters first.
Mm-hmm.
And then they would
awesome,
form a story around it. Because can you imagine? I don't even know what I would begin to write just looking at this poster if this was made first. Mm-hmm. That's you're saying, you put something into AI, okay, do this, now make a whole movie around it.
Yeah. So Seed People is an interesting one. It does have kind of like Invasion of the Body Snatchers, takeover, to where the where the person becomes a host. And so what it is these seeds come from the sky.
Oh,
they're aliens. Yeah, and they travel in seeds because they can, they're ultra durable and they can survive space, I guess. I don't know. Their whole goal, obviously they're trying to take over this town and then eventually take over the world, but they, it's their goal to possess you. And so they go from those things that you saw and they turn into humans.
Oh, what?
Or they'll turn from humans into those things.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, so it's kind of cool. The one part that I was oh my gosh, they roll around exactly like critters. Direct.
Oh, seriously?
Yes, they roll the exact same way. And I checked and I was oh man, they're ripping off Critters. And I had to make sure, Critters was actually before this. Critters was in 86 or something like that. And this is in 92. So yeah, they roll around. Some of them fly. They take over a family and then they try to, there's one girl that was, trying to get everybody on board with their evil. And then eventually, another guy gets on board and then, they get taken over and it's just this, they're trying to figure out things as they go along, they hate ultraviolet light. And then there's this crazy doctor that walks around with this ultraviolet light and everything. And he's got a gun and he just gets drunk and tries to shoot people. Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. So they end up figuring out what's going on and they have to beat it. But the whole movie is you see the main character in a hospital bed and then he's telling the story to the FBI guy in the doctor's bed. But then it goes through and they all try to, you know, like the end he's driving and he's trying to like, you know, get rid of the seeds and everything because they loaded all the seeds up into a vehicle and stuff. And then I forget what even ends up happening to him. He ends up hitting his head. I think he jumps out and like tries to crash it and hits his head. And then they bring him into the hospital. And then you find out that the FBI guy is a seed person. So he's been interviewing him the whole time. And then his love interest comes in and she's, you know, possessed and is like, you know, well, if he's the only one that knows, you know, like we have to kill him and all this stuff. Yeah. Pretty ridiculous. Very much like kind of a Critters type flick. Kill scenes were just odd. It's full moon.
Full Moon is so creative.
Yeah.
I genuinely I have to give him that. Like he is just genuinely very creative when it comes to a lot of his stuff.
Yeah.
His movies. And like you said, there's like such a weird like almost crossover between Trauma and this. But for some reason, whenever I see a full moon picture,
absurd.
Yeah, and whenever I see a full moon picture, there's just something more sleeker about it.
Yeah.
Like it just, I don't know.
They are more serious than
it feels
Trauma.
more competent.
Yes. Yeah.
When you look at the directing,
the actors, the budget, I know has got to be more than what Trauma does. Yeah, but then that's my thing too is, you know, even if you're talking about, you know, demonic toys or something like that, like there is still an element of more seriousness than there is with Trauma. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, it's a full moon flick. That's all you really need to know.
Nice. You can't go wrong.
Yeah, I could have picked out almost any full moon pictures.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with that's full moon is what made mom and pop stores what they were.
Yeah.
Like without full moon, I don't think mom and pop stores would be as big as they were.
Probably not.
They like I don't know. They were just the best things out there in the 80s. If you found a full moon.
Many, like you said, so many posters and covers is what drew you in because, you know, like we've said many times, like you just go off the box. And you're like, oh shit, what is this? You know, see people? What the fuck? Yeah, that's exactly what they were known for and exactly what they're, you know, good at and stuff.
Good marketing.
One of the things I forgot to talk about, my favorite in watching these old VHS is the previews.
Oh my God, dude.
The previews are so fucking great. It's so 90s. And there was even this one horror, it was like horrormerch.com. And it's this like Max Headroom style like skeleton kind of like
that's
talking
cool.
With the swirling thing behind it. Oh, it's so ridiculous. I checked to see it's not it's up for sale. It doesn't exist yet.
That's cool.
You can buy it for like under $3,000. Horrormerch.com.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, the name.
Yeah, you can buy it.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it's oh god, some of these previews.
That's cool.
They're not all horror. They're like these low budget action films where it's like they have the one guy that you're like, hey, I've seen that actor before.
Yeah.
I can't remember what film, and I sure as shit can't remember his name, but they're like putting that guy front and center. And then there was a fucking...
It's not Steven Seagal, was it?
Oh, no. I have like a Steven Seagal flick. Don't even get me started on Steven Seagal. He's such a horrible human being. He is so terrible. He lies more than anyone.
But he also can't help but like watch his shit.
Trust me, I know.
He's like the fucking Morrissey of like action films. You hate the guy, but it's like, goddamn, but you're entertaining.
It's so great when he puts the pool ball in the fucking dish towel and starts cracking people in the head. Steven Seagal is great. But there was a movie that was fucking Rush Hour before Rush Hour was Rush Hour.
Whoa.
The Jackie Chan, Chris Tucker movie. Yeah. There was another movie, and it was before. I should have wrote down the name of it, but anyway, it had it was like Asian guy who did karate, and then it had African American comedic guy, and it was like Rush Hour before Rush Hour was.
That's cool.
Hour. I don't remember the name of it. I'll watch it again and write it down, and I'll tell you all. But it's like watching the preview, I was like, oh my gosh. This is fucking Rush Hour.
That is the best part, is like the commercials, because like, oh, I've never heard of that movie before. Sometimes it's like one that is like, oh, that's obscure. Yeah. That's odd.
There was like an Ultimate Fighting movie with Ken Shamrock and like Danny Trejo's in it. And they like fight to the death in Russia or something.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It's fucking great.
So the next one I have is Anguish from 1987. Now, not much is known about this movie.
I've never heard of that.
It is such an interesting one. It has Zelda Rubinstein in it. She's the mother in this film. So basically the movie, okay, I really don't want to spoil it, but it's so fucking good. And the only way you can watch it is on Amazon. But it's the director's from Spain, and he literally is known for putting Penelope Cruz on the map because he had her in one of his films. But other than that, he mostly did comedies and dramas. This was his first horror movie, and it's also a slasher on top of that.
All right.
And it's a very bizarre thing, because the whole time during the movie, it like gives you a warning, like, you could be susceptible to hidden messages in this film, you know, awesome. That sort of thing, because it'll like hypnotize you before that. Yeah. And basically the first part of the movie is about Zelda Rubinstein and her son, who she is just like, she's kind of like Norman Batesy with, like, you need to do what I say kind of thing. Yeah. And he goes out and murders people. Well, then you pull back and you're actually watching somebody watching this movie on a movie screen. Okay. This is not the movie you're supposed to be watching. And so then when it pulls back about the movie theater, there's a girl, she's there with her friend, they're teenage girls, you know, they're watching this horror movie together, and she's starting to wonder if she's starting to feel the effects of like the subliminal messaging that's going on. So she walks away, and then there is some asshole that comes in and is ready to shoot up the place. Okay. He's ready to murder people. And so the whole thing is like, did this movie turn him into this person while he was watching it? Did he just do this on purpose? Yeah. Like, what was his motivation? So that's kind of what this movie asks. It's kind of a weird one where it almost like, you know, back in the 80s, because this is from 87, like, you know, the whole thing where like our horror movies hurting other people, like causing people to hurt and harm other people. Like, it's almost like that narrative, but like in a very entertaining way, because then, spoilers, at the very, very end, you're the person watching the movie of the people watching the movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It was like layer upon layer upon layer of like just weirdness. It's bizarre. It's wonderful. I can't recommend this one enough. It's very good.
Sweet. Yeah. No, that sounds good. So my next, I'll kind of premise this though.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yes. So, and we can have even an open discussion. So this next movie that I saw, Hellroller, I had watched it when I was probably like anywhere from 13 to 17 with Blake. And I remembered nothing of this. And it was one of those things that in my head seemed so obscure that I was like, I can't be remembering this movie right. And for me, Hellroller was a movie about a handicapped guy and that had like a pocket knife. And I was like, he went around killing people.
It looked like Ernest on the cover.
It really did. Yeah, it does. But the guy doesn't. And so I was right. That's the premise of the movie.
That's just what happens.
Yeah, this movie, I just have to say, I came up with the phrase shit-tastic to kind of describe this.
Shit-tastic.
Because, you know, you have those movies that are so fucking terrible that they're like just brilliant. This movie had no budget.
Oh, man.
Fucking whatsoever. You're not going to recognize hardly anyone. There was a chick in there that her name was Penny Arcade. I just thought that was such a cool name.
Cute. That's
I know nothing about her, but she kind of looks burlesque like type chick.
Okay. Maybe that's her stage name.
I'm assuming so, but yeah, that's what
cool.
she went by. And yeah, it's a handicapped gentleman who has an anger problem that wants to go around and kill people.
Hey, love this. Satan has a new set of wheels. Hellroller.
The logo on top with the handy,
the handy. That's good.
As the O. So to me, I want to kind of just go over it lightly because I actually would love to have this become like a part of an episode.
Oh my God, dude. I want to see this.
It is... I like the only thing that I could tell you of what I thought of this movie was that I am so proud of my like 15-year-old self. Like I was so fucking badass that at 15 I watched this movie.
That is genuinely really cool.
And the IMDb comments are crazy. Should I read one?
Read one.
Okay.
I need to hear this.
Yes.
Shit.
So this is the IMDb comment that I have to read. Okay, so here you go. It's a 1 out of 10. And it says, "Hell is where this belongs. Finally, the first film I would recommend to Adolf Hitler, or for that matter, anyone guilty of committing heinous crimes. Forget death sentences. We should make convicts watch this film over and over and over again. Maybe that way, crime rate in this country would lower. This makes my list of 5 worst films ever made. Love that two-headed redneck."
Oh my, what? Two-headed redneck? One of those exists in this film?
Yeah, that's
oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my
More
God.
I thought Siamese twin.
Huh.
But this movie, so like I was telling Ivy, when I say it had no budget, it fucking had no budget. They had to shoot half of it on a rooftop.
That's so bizarre. I mean, if you gotta do it guerrilla style, you gotta do it. But
and of course, because I figure, obviously they can't shut down the streets. They can't film during the streets because it's shot in like a city, because people be getting in the way and shit. And they did shoot some scenes not on the rooftop, but yeah, most of it is on the rooftop. And the one thing that made me laugh so hard about this movie is like bums and homeless people, because they say bums in the movie all the time. They're a big part of this movie. The ridiculous part is all of the like bums or homeless people, they talk like, like they make them so slow and stupid.
Oh God.
And the acting is so fucking terrible for it. And like Hellroller gets this guy to just wheel him around and be his like body for killing. So if he wants to go in a door, he has this like older guy who said he was a director, but he's like slow and a bum now, just like kick in a door. Yeah. And then Hellroller comes in. It's so fucking terrible.
That's funny.
Yeah, you are gonna have to watch this. I'm gonna give you a copy of it. I'm not gonna go much more into it.
Oh my God.
But there are some the reason why I want you to watch it is because there are two dance scenes.
Oh.
That
okay.
go on
for a long time.
For a long time. Yes. And it's got some nice homemade music over it.
Oh my God.
Yes. So
are they sexy though? Do we have titties?
We do, yes. There's quite a few, a few titties in this movie. They're like 80s physical attractive.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
all
very
right.
much. Yep.
I can go for that.
Yeah, oh gosh, I gotta get this to you because fucking Hellroller.
I need to see this. You've really talked it up, so I need to see this.
Oh, and you can't see Hellroller anywhere. Sorry.
Oh,
it's not streaming.
No, it doesn't exist anywhere.
No, it's not streaming anywhere. At least that I couldn't find it. Anyone in the comments finds it, go ahead. But yeah, and then the only thing I saw was a copy on eBay for $80. Like I'd been looking for this movie.
Damn.
And I only got it off of a guy that has a bootleg company, but he had the original VHS and he ripped it to DVD. So that's the only way I found this. So It wasn't even legit. So hey, don't copyright bust me.
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. It's nice though when you can find like a good bootlegger, Which, speaking of Massacre Video, I cannot recommend them enough. If you are having trouble finding a movie or just want to look through their catalog because they have some weird shit out there,
sure.
look at Massacre Video, because they do kind of that very thing. They try to find very obscure movies that don't get normal releases or aren't picked up. So Massacre Video is like the place you need to go to. And that's where this particular movie comes from. It's called Love Bites.
I'm sensing a theme off of the cover.
Yes. It's very much a gay soft porn.
Okay, all right. I was thinking porn. It probably goes that way.
But it's okay. So when we first put it in, I was like, oh shit, it's shot on Shitio. And for those of you that don't know what shot on Shitio is, I'm borrowing this term from Cinema Snob. It's like somebody took a home camera movie and shot it.
Oh, so's Hellroller.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it's shot on Shitio too.
Oh, yeah.
But the difference is between, I'm sure, Hellroller and this movie is that this movie is competently written and it is very fucking hilarious.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Like, my husband and I were, like, dying of laughter from so many jokes that were in this movie. It is really well written. And the director is Marvin Jones, and the writer is Kevin Glover, who is actually the Count in this movie.
Okay. All right.
Tall as fuck, dude.
Really?
Like, you can't tell on this cover, but, like, in the actual movie, fuck, he's towering over, like, this potential, like, person he's gonna be in bed with. So I'm just like, how the fuck this gonna work?
I don't know. You gotta figure it out, though.
But we do get to see it.
Oh, okay.
But no penetration.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah,
it's soft.
Yeah, all right.
Which is wonderful for me because there's lots of wonderful man ass.
There you go.
I like man ass.
All right. Some cheekage.
I do like some cheekage, yes. Chris Ladd, who plays one of the characters in it, the character Leslie, is the best part of the movie. Okay. Everybody will, like, you'll read some IMDb comments and they'll say, like, the dude that plays, the Count's kind of, like, his Renfield is the funnier person. No. Leslie, this guy, is the best person in the movie. He has all the jokes. He is just cracking he's just cracking one-liners constantly. And it's so good. But unfortunately, he died way too soon back in 1990. He was only 30 years old due to AIDS.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. It's a shame. He is a very, very funny guy.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, a lot of these people that worked on this film didn't go anywhere else.
Yeah.
Leslie obviously was in a lot of, like, male pornos, like hardcore. But other than that, like, the rest of the cast literally went nowhere else. The dude that's supposed to be, like, the vampire slayer that ends up being, in love with the Count by the end, he's only been in, like, 2 other movies, and one of them was a Disney movie, and he was just, like, extra.
Okay.
Like, Homeward Bound.
Trying to make some money?
Yeah. That's the only thing he's done. But yeah, it's an interesting movie. I fully recommend it. Like I said, the only way you're going to be able to see it is through Massacre Video, but it's very good. And it's well worth your time. Even if you're not into, like, the porn aspect of it, you can literally just slide past it. It's just funny. It's just a funny movie.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, sweet. So, with this whole episode, it's really based around something that we both firmly believe in, and that's local media, physical media, any type of, media that you can get your hands on. It's great to do that. I'd love to have enough of us kind of have physical media make a comeback. That would be absolutely great. That'd be so great.
Man, as much as you don't like it, but I'm glad to see Terrifier actually get released on VHS because it's a 2-part VHS.
Yeah.
That is the only reason why we bought it. We didn't buy it because we like Terrifier. Yeah. We bought it because, this is neat. We want to tell more people that are doing these marketing things, we want more of this.
Yeah, there is that out there too, because even fucking Spirit Halloween released the VHS
the clamshells
gift box. Mm-hmm. Yeah, where it's not the movie, but then it's got like patches and stuff. So, there is a market out for it. And I would love for that to come around.
We just need more assholes making more, like, VHS players.
Yes.
Like, that work.
Yes.
It would be really nice.
Yeah, absolutely. The new ones are because there's new ones out there, but they're so expensive.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yeah, they're like $200.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, so that's why, I hit up a bunch of Goodwills back in the day. And
Yeah, rated them.
yeah, I have quite a few players, but yeah, so all in all, it's good to have some weird ass movies, definitely conversation pieces, definitely stuff you can watch with your friends and just kind of like gauge their reactions.
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
Because it's weird shit. And like you said, because if you don't have this physical media, it just goes by the wayside.
Yeah.
A lot of these, like Hellroller, probably is never going to see the light of day again.
Yeah, and I don't even know how. I mean, I would love, and I probably need to do some research into like, how many copies were made or all that stuff, because, I don't imagine that it's floating around out there. I mean, I've halfway looked for it, but any place that has media, I go in, and if I would have come across Hellroller, I absolutely would have bought it. I've never seen it, so they can be out there, and they're kind of like fucking treasures,
Yeah,
because this shit is just
it's weird shit that you just want to have, and it's like, look at the shit that I got. And honestly, we got enough weird movies that we could do a second episode if anybody's interested. Or hell, even if any of you have some weird movies that you want to share with us, we'd love to hear from you.
We'll do a watch episode.
Hell yes.
Yeah, well, I think do a watch episode.
We should be doing that with Hellroller.
Oh man, ooh, to watch that baby twice. Woo. That's a treat. Yeah.
3 times technically for you.
Technically, yeah. There's no words to describe Hellroller. It's crazy, but yeah. So, I think it's about time we're going to wrap this episode up, folks. We appreciate all y'all listening to us.
Have a good Thanksgiving.
Hanging out with us. Yes, have good holidays coming up. Be nice to each other, So, with that being said,
look out for each other, and good night, cellar dwellers. Bye. Perfect.